What's up YouTube, it's TF Collector, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studios Series number 22 Deluxe Class Dropkick from the Bumblebee movie. So to start this off, let's go ahead and take a look at the box that Dropkick comes in. You can see on the front we have a picture of Dropkick. He is number 22 of Studios Series. His name is Dropkick from Bumblebee movie. 8-and-up Hasbro. Transformers down the side, Generations there, and Takara there. On this side, 22 of Studios Series. Nice profile image there of Dropkick. He's Deluxe Class in multiple different languages on this side. That same image zoomed out of Dropkick, Autobot logo, and authentic logo there. On the back of the packaging, he is big screen inspired from the Bumblebee movie. His name is Dropkick from the Autobot Pursuit scene, and you can see some more images of Dropkick there. Dropkick detects the signal of a high-level Autobot criminal and prepares to close in on his target. 24 steps for transformation, a backdrop included. We'll take a look at later. Some other figures that you can purchase. I don't own Shadow Raider. I took a look at Bumblebee. That review is on the channel, and that review will be next for the KSI Sentry. You can see this is a licensed helicopter, surprisingly, and Hasbro there on the top, Bumblebee on the bottom, barcode, and that is it for the package. And before we take a look at Dropkick himself, he does, of course, include his instruction manual. He is number 22 of Studio Series. His name is Dropkick. He's a Decepticon from the Transformers Bumblebee movie. Deluxe Class picture of him, 8-and-up. Transformers Generations on this side. Whatever helicopter company that is, Takara and Hasbro. And moving to the figure itself, here is Dropkick in his helicopter mode, which in my opinion is the only good part of this figure is the helicopter mode. But that being said, let's take a look at the details. Here you can see nice clear windshield there. You can kind of see his head peeking through there, but some nice painted details, or I'm not sure if they're molded or painted. They might actually be molded, but you can see there some nice details, some more through here, some more here, and down through here. Nice detailing in the helicopter mode. I think the helicopter mode turns out pretty well. You can kind of see his hand right there, which is unfortunate, but overall I think the helicopter mode has turned out pretty good. Here is the other side of it. You can see his little rotating thing there. There is the top, and there is the bottom, and like I've demonstrated, you can rotate this piece here, and you can also rotate this piece around, so you get some cool little movements for the helicopter mode here. And if we want to arm him up a little here in helicopter mode, Dropkick does come with these two missile pods, and we can tab them onto the helicopter mode here. They do just tab in right under there, so we can just tab that piece there, come around here, tab that piece there, and you can have some nice missile pods on the side of your helicopter. And for a quick comparison here with Dropkick, here he is with Studio Series 18 Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie. So you can see how those two look together, the Decepticon and the Autobot. And overall, I think this helicopter mode on Dropkick looks pretty good, and I think he looks pretty good with Bumblebee right there. And I think that's about all I have to say for the helicopter mode here for Dropkick, which, as I've stated earlier, is the only good thing I think comes out of this figure. So you can probably guess how the rest of this review is going to go. But let's go ahead and transform him so we can get into all that. So I'm just going to remove the missile pods from each side, start off this transformation, and we can get down to it. So the first thing we're going to do is collapse these propellers together like so. Just get those out of the way. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go ahead and untab this piece from the side and just get it up and out of the way like so. And now we can begin to basically pull him apart. So the first thing we're going to do is untab this front section here, and basically these legs are wrapped underneath this piece, so you're going to want to untab them here, because there is, as you can see, a little T-tab there that they go over top. And then you're just going to want to swing these out, and they will come up on these double hinges that they are on. So just double hinge that up like so. Come around here to the other side, do the same thing. Pull this leg out and double hinge it up like so, and just get those up and out of the way. And now what we can do is we're going to want to come here and bring this piece down and get that over top of his head for now. And I'm gonna raise up a little bit, and what we can do now is rotate this complete section 180 degrees. So just rotate this whole thing around 180. This whole section is going to come around like so, and you want it looking like that. And now we work on the legs. You just want to straighten the legs out, rotate at the thigh. Then you can come here, flip the gun in on this side, bring this section up, and it will tab into the leg. Rotate this section 180 degrees. This piece will push back, and this blue piece will also push back, and that's how you want the leg to look. So just do the same thing on the other side real quick. Flip this piece up, tab that in, rotate this piece 180 degrees, bring that piece back, bring that piece back, and there you have Dropkick's legs all done right there. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to make sure that double hinge stays up. There we go. And now we're going to move on to the upper body. So if it hasn't done it already, just split this whole section in half and start to rotate this down. You want to make sure this piece just, and here we go. Here we go. We're just going to pop off. Nope, please stay. And now we can rotate this piece down, rotate it down on this side too. And basically what's going to happen here is you're going to want to take this section. It's on a black hinge. You're going to want to hinge it out. You can see that hinge there like so. And now what you're going to do is you can see a hinge there. But the first thing you want to do is bring this blue piece back. And now you can use that hinge to hinge this upwards like so. And you can see a little clip right there. And what you're going to do is that's going to go over top of this clear section here. So just bring that in and that clip will go over top there. So you want that looking like that. And before we bring the chest back down, we're going to want to do the same thing on the other side. So just flip that out, flip the blue piece back, flip this piece up, bring it in, make sure that little notch goes in there, and now you can bring the whole cockpit section down and flatten that piece out right there. So that's how you want that looking. And now to finish up the arms, you're just going to want to rotate them forward, rotate this piece in, rotate this piece up, and it will tab in like so. So that's how you want that looking. Do the same thing on the other side. Rotate this piece in, rotate this piece up, rotate the elbow forward, and that's how you want the arms looking there. Now to finish up the backpack, what I like to do is take these pieces here, and you want the blue part facing upward. Just get those out of the way so you can rotate this piece around like so, and you can angle this however you want. It can hang down, it can hang back, angle. And what I do with these pieces, I just tuck them right behind that. So just do the same thing with the other one. Tuck it right behind that area. And that is Dropkick in his absolutely terrible and non-movie accurate looking robot mode. And the transformation itself isn't terrible. It's not the worst transformation ever. It's far from the best, but it is at least halfway enjoyable. But unfortunately, what you're transforming him into is this terribly ugly, non-movie accurate robot mode. But with that being said, let's take a look at what details we do get here in the robot mode. So you can see his face sculpt there with the red eyes, a little bit of silver, not a very movie accurate looking head sculpt. To be honest, you can see just back here, some details throughout, some details there on the thighs, and the knees have a little red, some black and blues all throughout, some details there on the forearm, but overall just not a very good looking figure in my opinion. This piece needs to come back, there we go. Overall though, just not the best looking robot mode I've ever seen. The backpack is just the helicopter wings and these two pieces, but just for me personally, this is not movie accurate, and Studio Series is supposed to be very movie accurate, and this is just not it. And yeah, I'm just not feeling this robot mode at all whatsoever. And as far as articulation goes, I'm pretty sure the head is on a ball joint. He can look up slightly and down slightly. His head can rotate side to side. It can not do a full 360. I thought it could, but it does not look like it can. So no full 360 on the head there. The arms are on ball joints. They do go full 360 and in and out also on that hinge right there. You do have bicep rotation there. You do have A little over 90 of elbow degree there. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. The legs here can kick forward pretty high. They're on ball joints. They can kick back pretty far. You just got to get around the helicopter blades there. Outward, full split, thigh rotation, knee bend. Very deep and nice knee bend there. And nothing at the ankle. And these helicopter wings, as I've previously noted, can move up and down and rotate side to side. I called them wings. I think they're propellers. I'm pretty sure. I'm not an aviator or whatever you would call that. But overall, the articulation is not bad, but just the details are really throwing me off with this robot mode. And we can bring in the two accessories we get with Dropkick, and they can transform. You just bring out the gun barrel there, which reveals a massive hollow cavity, but it is what it is. It's a deluxe class. I wouldn't expect a lot more from a deluxe. If I can get this piece to come out. Hello? Hello? Please? This has not fought me yet. This is a first. There we go. Just rotate that out. Now, as far as storage goes, there's none. Okay, you can fall over. There's none. I don't know where you would store these, so you have no option but to arm your Dropkick. You can just plug them into his hands on each side, and you can have him with some guns, and even with the guns, this robot mode still looks terrible. And for a quick comparison in robot mode here he is with Studio Series 18 Bumblebee, so you can see how they look together. And I must admit, being the first two figures of the Bumblebee movie Studio Series section, these are two weaker figures in the Studio Series line. This Bumblebee movie definitely didn't start off with strong figures. Now, that did change later down the line, and we got a few of my favorite figures from Studio Series thanks to the Bumblebee movie, but these first two are not exactly bangers. Now, fortunately, we did get a better Dropkick down the line, and we are getting a better Bumblebee later this year that we will take a look at when that comes out, and we'll get to the Dropkick eventually. But the two that we're taking a look at right here really don't look that great compared to what you see in the movie. And of course, my ritualistic picture of the character from the movie. There's Dropkick from the Bumblebee movie, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and exactly why I am not very happy with the way this figure has turned out. But overall, yeah, I'm not feeling Dropkick here, if I'm being honest. And of course, the last thing to talk about here is the display base that Dropkick comes with. This comes in the box, which is sadly now discontinued in Studio Series, but used to be a nice inclusion. 22 of Studio Series, you can see a dog fight going on back there. Bumblebee, authentic, Transformers, and if you want, you can plop Dropkick down right there, and you can have him in the middle of a plain dog fight. So that is my review for the Transformers Studio Series number 22 Deluxe Class Dropkick. And yeah, this one, for the first time since we started going through this Studio Series line, I'm going to have to say this one is a no-go from me. Not a good figure in my personal opinion. Now, the helicopter mode is nice. If you want to have a helicopter mode Dropkick on your shelf, then the helicopter mode, there's nothing wrong with it. Really, the transformation is halfway enjoyable, but sometimes it just doesn't work right. Especially that section where you rotate the piece around just does not work. So that kind of sucks. And the articulation also isn't good. Nothing at the waist, nothing at the ankle. Kind of really does just suck, if I'm being honest. This figure sucks. I mean, it's not the worst figure ever, but I feel like sucks is a good word to describe this figure. If someone said Studio Series 22 Dropkick, I'm going to say sucks. That's how I describe it. That's how I feel about it. Sorry if you don't feel the same way, but that's how I feel. The robot mode is atrocious. It just doesn't look movie accurate, and that's what Studio Series strives for, so it can't get a good rating from me. If I'm going to rate it, it's going to be a 4 out of 10. It's going to be the first time I don't recommend a Studio Series figure here on this channel. But yeah, if you like it, I'm glad you enjoy it. But me personally, not my cup of tea. Doesn't look good to me. Just a bad figure in my opinion. So 4 out of 10. That's my review for Studio Series 22 Dropkick. And don't forget, don't sacrifice the things you love for the approval of others. I'll see you guys soon, probably with the KSI Sentry, number 23. And until then, roll out. Peace.